Hi everyone. Thanks for checking out this video. Okay, so we're going to be continuing on with our learning Python. I'm going to keep using the same actual file for all these lessons, but I cleaned it up a bit. So I just added a couple more of these comment lines, separating out the different lessons. And by the way, if you guys check the descriptions of these videos, I'm gonna put a link in the descriptions to a place where you can download this file if you want to. It's going to be on a website called GitHub, which is a website for like sharing code, basically. But yeah, if you want to actually download this file for yourself for review, I'm going to put a link in the description to where you can actually find it. But yeah, just moving on, commented out the code from the previous lessons, and yeah, we're going to be on to our third lesson now. So yeah, this is going to be a lesson about what's called data types. So if you guys remember from the last lesson, I was telling you guys about something I was just calling things, about how we can use variables to store things, and I said that I would explain, I'll explain more what we mean when we say things. So when we're talking about things in Python, what we're really talking about is data types. So I'll just leave a comment here like data type is a type of thing that we can work with in Python. I mean, it's basically what it sounds like. It's a type of data that we can work with in Python. So yeah, in this video, I'm going to tell you guys a little bit about the different types of like basic Python data types. So maybe I'll keep like an ongoing list here and just say like basic Python data types, and then kind of list them out one by one for you guys. So the first data type is this thing we've been putting in quotation marks like this. So I've been calling this text because it's what we normally call text. But in computer science, this text is actually called a string. So yeah, these are called strings. So yeah, this is the string data type. So maybe I'll just call this like test underscore string equals Mike. And Python provides a nice way for us to check what type something is. So for now, we can like print out test string, and that should just print out Mike. And then we can also print out the type of test string. And type is another function here because it's got the function name, which is type, and then it's got these parentheses, and then inside the parentheses it takes as the input whatever thing we're trying to check the type of. So we can run this, and yeah, it prints out Mike, and then it prints out for the type of this test string, just class str for string, basically. So yeah, that's how we can check and confirm that this is a string. It could also be in single quotes, and it will still be a string. Yeah, we can use double quotes or single quotes. Either one is fine for our string data type. So I'll just say strings. I'll just say that it's just text, basically. Okay, so I'll just comment this out so we can move on to the next data type. Yeah, the next data type is if you guys remember, besides the text, we've been dealing with numbers. So I showed you guys in like the last two videos. Yeah, besides these like text things that we're dealing with, we're also dealing with numbers, and we can use Python to do like basic calculations, and we can use variables to like store numbers and then use them in calculations. And actually, Python has two number data types. So it has two different data types, where one is just integer numbers, and then the other is decimal numbers. So the integer number data type is what's called ints, short for integers. And just to show you guys an example, we can say test int equals 2. Then we can print out our test int. And then we can print out the type of test int, and then go ahead and run this. And yeah, it prints 2 and then class int, telling us that this is of the int data type. So yeah, int's short for integers, and that's just a integer number that doesn't have a decimal point. Okay, so I'll comment this out so we can move on. Our next number data type is what's called floats. So a float is a number that has a decimal point. So for example, we can say test float equals 2.4, and then print out the test float, and then print out the type of test float, and then go ahead and run this. Yeah, prints out 2.4 and prints out class float. And so yeah, I'll leave the comments here too. So say like integer numbers, and then decimal numbers. Float, by the way, is short for floating point, which is like the computer science term for how the decimal point numbers are actually stored in the computer. So yeah, short for floating point number. But yeah, we just call them floats in Python. And Python's nice because it's pretty lenient on these two number data types. So we can do operations involving ints and floats together, and it'll still be fine. It'll still give us a answer. Not every programming language is like that. For example, I think like other ones like C and Java, if you try to do mathematical operations between numbers of different data types, it can actually cause some problems. But yeah, in Python, yeah, we can use ints and floats together in operations. But we have to be careful because what we can't do is we can't use like numbers and strings together in operations. So if we try doing an operation like 2 plus 2 in quotation marks, this actually won't work for us. This will give us a an error when we try to run it. So yeah, this is another error in our Python code. So yeah, this is an error message. It's basically telling us yeah, type error, unsupported operand types for int and string. So this is basically telling us with the plus operator, you can't use it with an int and a string because that just doesn't make any sense. So even though this looks like a 2 to us here, since it's in quotation marks, Python is treating it as a string, and it's not going to be able to be added to numbers like this, basically. Just as an interesting test, by the way, though, we actually can add 2 strings together. So if we add 2 in quotes plus 2 in quotes, the way strings get added in Python is they just get combined together as text. So 2 in quotes plus 2 in quotes gets combined as like 22 in text. We can also say like just my name, Mike, plus Mike, and then they just get added together like that. Yeah, but strings and ints, you can't add them together because it just isn't allowed, basically. Okay, so yeah, maybe I'll leave a comment here just saying like this causes an error, and then go ahead and comment that out. And then there's one more basic data type in Python that we're going to be covering today. So this last basic data type is a little bit more confusing than the other ones, but it's also important because it's basically like one of the key foundations of computer science. So this is what's called the Boolean data type. And I think the name is actually named after a guy. I think his name was Boole. So yeah, that's also why I put it in capital letters. I think it's named after somebody. And the Boolean data type is basically just true or false. So just to give an example, and this might sound a little bit confusing at first, but as we go through some examples, I think it'll hopefully make more sense. So I'm just going to say test Boolean equals true. So in Python, we can just say true or false as just true or whoops, sorry guys, false, just uppercase words like that. So yeah, just say like test boolean equals true, and then we can print out test boolean, and then print out the type of test boolean, and go ahead and run this. And yeah, it prints out true, and then class bool telling us that the type of test boolean is the boolean data type. And yeah, we could make this also, sorry, I keep doing that, false too, and it'll just be basically the same thing. Yeah, class bool telling us we have a boolean here. And yeah, so one way to get boolean boolean data types is like this, by just defining it as true or false. But we can also get booleans by checking if something is true or false. So maybe I'll leave a comment here and say we can get boolean data types by checking conditions to see if they're true or false. And so what I mean by that is we can print out, for example, a check of whether 4 is greater than 0. So what happens if we print out this statement 4 greater than 0? I'll also just comment this out just to get rid of it. But yeah, let's just print this out, 4 greater than 0. Yeah, this prints out as being true. So like Python, when we give it a statement like this, it checks if it's true or false. And it basically, the statement resolves to that Boolean of whether it's true or false. So we can print out another one, we can print out 4 greater than 10. And if we print this one out, then we get false, because Python checks this and it resolves to false because 4 is not greater than 10. We can also check less than, check 4 like less than, I don't know, 12 maybe. And yeah, that's true. We can also check if something equals something else. So if we want to check if 4 equals 5, the way we check if something equals something else in Python is with 2 equal signs. And the reason we use 2 to check is because we use 1 equal sign to assign variables, if you guys remember from the previous lesson. So 1 equal sign is used for assigning variables. 2 equal signs are used for checking if 2 things are equal. So if we check 4 equals 5, this will print out as being false. We can also check if strings are equal to each other. We can check if the string Mike is equal to the string Mike. And this will print out as true because these are in fact the same string. So yeah, that one prints out as true. We can also like use booleans with variables. So we can say like x equals 4, and then we can print out x double equals 5. So checking to see if x equals 5. So yeah, if we print this out, it'll print out as false. And also, by the way, the way that we check that something is not equal to something else is with an exclamation point equals. So exclamation point equals checks if these things are not equal. So this will actually resolve to true because it's checking if x does not equal 5. And it's true that x does not equal 5. So we get true for that. Now, besides just like printing out these booleans, we can also store booleans in a variable like we did up here. So before here, like we made this variable test boolean, and set it equal to true and false, but we can also set it equal to a Boolean that we're getting from a condition check. So we can define x equals 4 and then make a variable called check, which we set equal to the Boolean of the check if x is greater than 10. So for example, then we can print out check, and then it should print out false. Because yeah, it has x equals 4. This is checking if x is greater than 10, and this is false. So then the Boolean false is getting stored in this check variable. We could have also made this like x checking if it's equal to 10. Again, resolves to false. Or we could check x less than 10. And then that resolves to true. And then, yeah, if we wanted to, we can print out the type of this check variable and just confirm that it is, in fact, of the Boolean data type. Okay, and I think last thing for this video, we can also check, besides just greater than or less than, we can also check greater than or equal to. So if we print x greater than or equal to 4, then this should resolve as true because it's not greater than 4, but it is equal to 4. So we can run that, and yeah, resolves as true. So if we want to check greater than or equal to, it's just greater than equal to, both of them together. This is checking greater than or equal to. So maybe I'll leave a comment. Checks greater than or equal to. And then if we want to check less than or equal to, it's just less than or equal to. And yeah, we could print that out too if we want. Okay, yeah, so just to review, these things we've been calling like things in Python are what's called data types. So the ones that are in quotes that are text are called strings. And that includes, by the way, if we have a number inside the quotation marks, that number is actually treated as text, and it's a string, and we actually can't add it to like other numbers, because as far as Python is concerned, anything within these quotation marks is of the string data type. Then we have ints, which are the first number data type. It's just integer numbers, no decimal point. Floats are decimal numbers, which could be, by the way, like 2.0. That's still a float. We can check if we want to. The 2.0, even though it's 2, just the 0.0 makes it a float. And yeah, we can do operations between ints and floats if we want to. And the Boolean data type, which is probably the most confusing, but also like a key fundamental concept in computer science, is basically true or false. So we can get Booleans by setting a Boolean variable like equal to true or false, or we can get them by checking a statement to see if the statement is true or false. Yeah, so that's basically all I have for you guys for this video. Yeah, thanks for watching. And see you guys next time.